Scott, Pirate Men's Golf was able to open the spring portion of the 2021-22 schedule this past weekend at the Washington Collegiate down in Yakima. A fun event, a match play event. Take us back through the weekend and what you saw.
Sure. What I saw was our guys competed really hard. Again, like you said, it was a match play event, so the opposite of stroke play where every single shot matters, and at the level that our guys are trying to play at, being one of the top-ranked teams in the country, I mean, every shot matters as far as your individual score for that day. So to take the pressure off and just allow the guys to just play an individual match against another strong opponent, just individually, hole by hole, it just kind of allowed them to focus on some of the things that they're still working on, this early in the season, having not been able to be outside much. So the first day we played Whitman, who's also a nationally ranked team, and our guys won all 6 of their matches. In one way, we kind of considered it a 5-person match. Whitman and us considered it to be a 6-person match. So all 6 guys played really well against some stiff competition and ended up pulling out some wins. And there was kind of some drama down the stretch with some shots and some putts that really counted. So that'll just harden us for later in the season. And then we advanced to play PLU on the second day, and we had got off to a really rough start in our individual matches with the exception of Sam Pauli. And our guys made a big storming comeback to the point where it came down to literally the final swings on the final hole, and we just came out kind of a little unfortunate with a few breaks. So PLU kind of beat us, I guess, 3-2. Had we counted that 6th match that day, it would have been a tie. So nothing but good things to get out and compete and be on the road, and we were fortunate enough to stay at a former and a current player's family farm, so the guys got some country meals and some bonding, and just was fun to be out in the sun and be on the road together again.
As a coach, how are you able to keep this team sharp and ready to play over the winter when you can't be outside and it's 15 degrees outside?
Sure. So one of the things I always like to say is golf's one of those sports that can be very much like studying, and you can love your class, but if you have to do 3 hours of reading every night, it can, even that can wear on you. And golf, the way that guys have to practice is very technical. It's repeating the same small task over and over and over. So we like to use the off season as a way to kind of miss golf a little bit. So there's, we have an indoor practice facility which the guys use a lot, and we have the ability to hit the ball into a big large net on the backside of the field house. But ultimately, we do some strength and conditioning. The guys play some intramural sports. A few guys even hit the slopes. I mean, some things are a little bit unconventional, but able to enjoy the Whitworth social experience on top of being on the golf team and their academics. So, they stayed sharp with doing golf-related activities, but ultimately, some really self-driven guys that happen to miss the sport quite a bit. So, given the opportunity to be back as a group together again, they just kind of make the most of it.
You have a little bit of a break now before you play your next tournament. So what's the focus for these next 2 or 3 weeks without any competition in there?
Sure. And we're not really thrilled about that gap in competition. There's just very few tournaments, and kind of like everything else, it's relatively open after COVID now, as people got out of the habit of hosting tournaments and booking weekends, and then the golf industry is the courses are filled with some of their own club events, so it's just been tough to pin down some competitive places to play. So we are still working on that. I don't know if the SID will like this change to the schedule if we end up adding something, but at the moment, with that gap in the schedule before we go play a really huge tournament and a huge opportunity for us in Alabama at the end of the month, we're just going to try to stay sharp, and as things open up around the area, as far as courses and stuff go, we'll just get out on the grass. But as of today, it's the few 2 or 3 courses within 60 miles of here that are open are day to day with the weather. So just after this little talk here, we're going to head to the back 40 and hit balls onto the practice soccer field and then shag bag them up. So our guys are really hungry, and there's a lot of anticipation with how good this spring season could be. So there's not a lot that's having to be done on my end to motivate these guys.